No, I don't think I can. What?
You can't talk like this.
I don't think I can. Okay. Are there any other questions? The hooded person?
I think you're really pretty.
What's that?
I think you're really pretty.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's awfully nice of you. Oh, thanks. I'm really embarrassed. Yes.
Who's your favorite character voice, or your favorite type of character voice?
When I was working on Ash at one point, we were also doing Amelia from Slayers. And to be able to do the two of those at the same time was great for me because
I didn't realize that was her voice.
Ash, in comparison, was very low-key. He didn't get to do the exciting things in the show. He just was, everyman. He just did his thing. And then when I would leave for Amelia, and she was out there, and her voice is so high, and I seriously would get a bit of a head rush from her. And so to do the two of them together was great. But it may sound silly to say, but I love every character I do. To be able to get the chance to be outside of myself and someone else, I just love it. And even in reading audiobooks, I love the book, because I just immerse myself in, and because if I judge it at all, I think that will come through. And for myself, I try to do, I think Misako would say the same, you just try to bring the most honest recreation or creation of something forward, so that, because I think, all of you listen and see so many things that you can tell right away if someone's not fully engaged. So I try to, no matter how my day has been, to just really focus in on being there, except for the occasional text from my daughter. That's it.
Thank you.
That's it. Sure, hold on one sec. Oh, yeah.
Can you say something in Ash?
Sure. Hey, you guys, it's awesome that you're here at Comic-Con. I definitely miss playing Ash. And for Amelia?
You're the best at
To Amelia.
Trying to bring justice!
Yeah.
Okay. So, why don't you describe it?
Oh yeah, okay. Alright. So as an artist, usually I draw really fast because I sometimes don't even use pencil, to draw. When you wanna, make a comics or, whatever, like illustrations, as for me, what I do is usually, I'm like making a film in my head, okay? And I'm just, kind of translate, just transform just the image, everything, and then moving to the two dimension, you know what I'm saying? So I usually, if you are not good at drawing, if you think so, what you can do is, you can do quick kind of, sketching. When I used to do was, what I used to do was, I was just sitting on just the Washington Square Park or something, and I'm just bringing my sketchbook, and I do like a 1 minute sketch, just one person just passing, one person, sitting in front of me, just drawing. Even, I suck, or if I was really bad at it, I just go to the next page and just draw more. So if you draw more, different, so many posters, or whatever, like actions, you're gonna be really good at it, because you don't want to draw all characters, just standing kind of like this, you know what I mean? Because that's so boring, it's not dynamic. So you want to draw sometimes, like maybe characters are like looking down on you. You want to draw maybe, like one panel, looking up, like a side or something. So that's how comics, kind of moves really smooth and just good. And I think especially like manga graphic novels are really good at it. Almost like you're watching a movie, every time you flip the page, you know what I mean? So I'm just always trying to draw like nice kind of, two characters doing some actions together or something like that. But at this time, because I wanted to show you, some kind of dynamic scenes, I just drew a girl, kind of jumping, And when you want to do this kind of action, you want to add this kind of line, So you just see, this panel looks more dynamic and, kind of something going on. So I think it's more, it's more easier, and I think, it's more exciting for voice actors.
Well, here you clearly have an emotion that's coming out. I guess if I were seeing this and trying to figure out what voice I would put to it, right away I know it's excited, so it's going to be a higher version of whatever voice I pick. She seems, I don't know, I could guess that she's a teen, so I would probably put her, yes! Oh, I can't believe it! Oh! Around there. But if she were younger, oh, this is so exciting! It's so exciting! Oh my goodness! Maybe higher. So, but it's hard for this, it's very definite. I don't think she would be going, maybe, this is great! There! Which really plays against kind of how she wouldn't really be crying, you wouldn't think. But if she were, she might be counteracting that by trying to be excited, even though she was crying. You could be, you know, in there. So you just have to figure it out. And I think, too, when you're creating something, even at home, where you're doing a play with your friends, the main thing is to kind of figure, it's hard for me to be her without kind of getting there. Just because you all know Pokemon. For Ash, it was hard for him to, when he threw the ball, I had to throw the ball. Because it kind of gives that, your voice changes. Sorry, I'll do a Pokemon thing then. Pokeball, go! Is here. But Pokeball, go! It goes forward. So it has a different thing to it. So I think all of us, you're fully engaged. When Misako is drawing this, she's in the character. And she's finding her way in it. When I'm voicing it, I'm finding my way in it. And I think that's probably one of the most important things.
Exactly, because, you know, sometimes when I draw, you know, like sad moment or like really depressing moment, I look at, you know, I just set up a mirror in front of me. I mean, I don't like doing this, but, you know, I noticed like I was kind of, you know, making sad face when I was, you know, drawing this in. And it's kind of important to know that, because, you know, because, I mean, you can just copy someone's, you know, like whatever your favorite scene or something, that's okay for the practice. But if you're making your comics, you have to find your style, you know, especially like this emotional scenes, like, they're kind of really important showing who you are. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I mean, my advice is, like, if you want to be artist, it's better for you to have so many different stylists. Because this is my one of style, but I have so many other 5 different styles to just kind of, you know, show. Because depend on generations and depend on gender, everything's different. So I always have to practice every single thing too, you know.
And as an actor, I think the more classes you take about acting, how to be in the moment so that the character can be emotional, can react. I spend a lot of time, like you, watching people, listening to conversations, and then sometimes I use it. Like sometimes I've had an audition, and there's a boy who goes to my daughter's school who, he has the most adult voice for a young kid, and sometimes I think of him when I have an audition. Like, how would he say this? I can't name names. But, you know, like, how would he do this? Because he fascinates me. So whenever I talk to him, I really listen to how his mouth goes, how he, you know, is. And I think that, all of that feeds into how I then portray other people.
That's so perfect, yeah.
Are there any other questions?
There's a new season of Pokemon coming out, black and white version, I'm guessing. Is there any chance that you'll ever go back to playing Ash?
I would jump at the chance to play Ash again, but I have no. Thank you very much. The only thing is that I have no way to do that. If they were to come to me, I would certainly.
They didn't offer you that role or that position?
No one's offered me anything. No one. I just got fired when we all got fired. You know, from Pokemon before. We were all just told that we weren't moving on with the show. So again, they'd have to ask me. I'm sure they could find me if they wanted me. So, but yeah, there's no doubt I would love to do it. I know a lot of people have done a lot with Save Our Voice Actors and all of that. And you know, I don't know. Business is business. So I'm not sure how. Or if they would even go back after such a long time, but hands down, I'd play it again.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you ever like mix up your voices? Like, did you ever take a Pokemon as, say, Amelia or somebody else as Ash?
No,
I don't think
absolutely
so.
not. Only because when I'm in there, I'm that character. So, and in anime, when you're doing ADR, we do one character at a time, like that. But I pretty much, I haven't done that.
You ever wanted to?
No, definitely not. Yeah.
I was told that theater classes could help with voice acting, specifically what kind of theater classes?
Oh, in theater, your training trains you to go after your objective. You can't play emotion, but when you are playing the scene and working through on each line, you have an objective, what you're trying to get from the other person. You certainly, that comes into play when you're doing voice acting, because commercials, cartoons, anything that you're doing, you want something from the other person, from the listener, from the person in the scene with you. So acting classes in general, improv classes, they all help in just you becoming an actor.
Thank you.
Okay, so one more person.
I've always wondered, I know as Ash and a couple of your other characters, you've been able to do this, like, this yelly voice. Like, whenever he's, like, scared or he's falling, it's like this, like, wah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always wondering how you do that without hurting your voice.
Well, Ash is probably the most vocally unhygienic. It's definitely back in my throat. I've taken a lot of vocal classes, voice classes, but I certainly have to be careful how I'm placing it and to try to really, it's hard to breathe because that voice is really just closed shut. But I don't know, sometimes just in the moment it just kind of... One more?
I guess, yeah, one more.
Please.
Would you consider Ash to be your signature character?
I think most people remember me for Ash. It's certainly a character that's very close to my heart. So I don't know. Yeah, okay. Is there any other questions that we can answer about drawing and acting?
Well, I have two really quick questions. One, what's the hardest role you've ever portrayed on a character? And, like, are there characters that are just impossible for you to do?
I'm going to say no. I can do anything.
Oh.
But, no, I don't know. I just really try. I certainly don't get every role I audition for.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and another, just really quick. For her,
Misako.
Yes.
Misako, sorry. For drawing characters, how do you get inspiration to do it poses? Because when I draw, sometimes I just pretty much have a brain fart practically, and I just cannot figure out what pose to do, so I'm not just making them stand.
I see. Because to me, I can just draw, like just when I have an imagination in my head, I can just draw kind of anything. But if you have a hard time, what you can do is you can just use your friend, or, just like, as I said, like anybody on the park or like subway, you can use them as your practice. So you just sketch it all the time, and eventually you're going to be really good at it. Also, like you and your friend can do like exchanging kind of journal in a comic way, what I used to do, so you can just practice, more to make a comic. So like instead of, writing, drawing and exchange, and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And do you ever use those those mannequin things to like pose those and draw that?
Never.
Oh, I use those. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we have to finish up right now because they say, like there's a line there behind.
Oh, thank you all
Okay,
so much
thank you
for
so much.
coming.